admitting his guilt. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
President Biden in Wisconsin touting his administration's Investing in America plan today and also campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris. The president offered condolences to victims' families in Georgia following yesterday's shooting at Appalachia High School. Georgia authorities today charging the 14-year-old suspected gunman and student with 4 counts of felony murder. This is ABC News.
Not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Need cash help but have bad or no credit? Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039. 615-844-1039 or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Here we go! From the Nashville Sports Radio Media Complex, this is the George Plaster Show. Call George now at 615-844-5600 and online at WNSR.com. And now, George Plaster.
Featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Watson Brown, Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Kelly Holcomb, along with Young Gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. What happened there?
I think we're good now.
Billy, was there pilot error there at the beginning?
That wasn't on me, I promise.
Okay. Well, we welcome all of you in to our beautiful digs at the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue. We got a big show today for you. Our buddy Danny Evans at 4:20, Underdog picks at 5 o'clock. The NFL season opener tonight, Kansas City and the Ravens, you name it, we got it. Let's check in with Kelly Holcomb, make sure he's behaving and alive and well. Kelly.
Really, I do blame that on you. Sorry.
Relax, Francis.
Anything that happens on this show is your fault, technically.
Chill.
Wow.
Kelly, take a chill pill for a second.
Are you still, obviously, you know, we went off and we saw our gal. I mean, is she still like you?
Yes, she does.
She does. Wow.
I'll say
Somebody for everybody.
You got that right. It was like mid-50s in the mornings up there, which
that's nice.
I see we haven't gotten down here. It's still hot.
It's still summer. Oh yeah, you're right. Saturday it's supposed to be no more than like upper 70s.
Ooh.
So sort of fall is in the air, and then a couple of days later we go back to what it is. Okay, Terry McCormick doing a smart thing and an interesting thing. He, of course, will be covering the Titans opener in Chicago against the Bears, but it just so happens that his wild card New York Yankees, and today that is what they are, they're in Chicago this weekend to take on the Cubs. So Terry is taking the child with him. Terry, how are you?
I'm good, George. I'm good, and I'm headed to Chicago to watch the Yankees. Connor is not with me. He had an obligation he was unable to get out of, so it's me and the wife.
Really? Without the child?
Yes.
So did you drive to Chicago?
We are en route.
Okay. Where are you right now? Let's do a little.
Kentucky.
We're in Kentucky. Well, that's certainly.
We've not gotten very far. We're in Kentucky.
Okay. Well, you've got a good long trip ahead of you.
Yes.
Maybe you can tune in the White Sox game.
Maybe so. Maybe so. No, I went to practice this morning, or part of practice, and then headed out after that. So got a little bit of a late afternoon start.
Very commendable. What's going on out there?
Well, DeAndre Hopkins apparently practiced again, and Jamal Adams, no practice, at least during the open part while we were there and able to watch.
So do you take that to mean Hopkins plays and Adams, who knows?
Yeah, I think Friday will be the telling day. That's generally how it works in the NFL. If you're not able to get out there and do something by Friday, then they're probably going to hold you out. Hopkins was limited yesterday. Looked like he was moving around pretty good, but it's kind of still wait and see on him. I would look for him to probably get a designation of questionable in his opener.
Terry, I asked this question yesterday. Rank for me, I guess 1 through 5, the Titans receivers.
All right. Well, I'll go, until someone dethrones him, I'll go Hopkins 1, and then Ridley 2, Boyd 3, Burks 4, Westbrook, Akina 5.
Okay. Anything else we ought to know?
No, I think that's about it. One of the things that, is going to be interesting to watch is Bernard Wilson spoke to us today, and he was talking about, getting ready for Caleb Williams and making his first start. And he said that, they have to execute their stuff and not worry about the fact that they're going against a guy making his first ever start.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see him mix it up a little bit. I think you'll see him throw the kitchen sink at times with blitzes, and then I think you'll see him disguise stuff and try to confuse this guy as much as possible. And the other thing is they can't let him make a lot of off-schedule plays. They need to make sure that when he's in the pocket that they can, get him down, don't let him scramble and escape, because that's when he seems to be most dangerous.
So let's get to the important issue. Cubs-Yankees, Wrigley, seats about 40,000. What are you having to pay to get in there?
Oh, gosh, I bought the tickets so long ago, I don't even remember.
Are you serious?
I don't remember. I think
wow.
I paid probably around 50 or 60 a piece for them.
That's all?
I think that's right.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you.
I mean, there may have been some fees and whatnot tacked on. I think that was about it.
Postage and handling, void where prohibited by law. Yeah. Well, good. Look, I hope you have a great time. I'm assuming you've been to Wrigley before.
I have. I've been there a couple of times.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's a great place to watch a ball game.
Yeah. Get there early.
All right. Will do.
Cheer on your wild card participant Yankees.
I guess he's off.
I guess we lost him on that. They're a wild card by a half game right now. The Orioles are a half game ahead of the Yankees. Whoever wins the division is likely to be number 1 in the American League as far as seeding, because likely that team will have the best record in the American League.
It's heating up.
Yes. Do you have an update of any stature whatsoever?
This is a beefy update, George.
Beefy?
Buckle up.
Well, fine.
You hear that, Kelly?
What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Who
whatever.
cares?
Well, Lori Burnett Leland cares. Log on to her website at mortgageladieusa.com. Give her a call, 615-969-4350. All right, starting in the NFL, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin said Russell Wilson missed practice today because of calf tightness, making him questionable for Sunday's game against the Falcons. Tomlin said he was held out as a precaution. Could we see Justin Fields on Sunday?
We absolutely could.
Also, the Chargers added Justin Herbert to the injury report today with a foot injury after they said they were advised to do so by the league, which I'm confused by. The NFL told them to put him on the injury report? I don't really understand that.
Kelly, help me with that.
A little shadiness going on. They're trying to keep him off of it, and he's been going into the training room, and somebody obviously turned them in.
Oh.
Interesting.
So there's a little spy amongst us?
Oh, yeah, a little shadiness going on. We don't have stealing signs, but we're withholding information on. You can't do that in the NFL on injuries.
Oh, God, no. And you can't bet. Now, the league can accept betting money, but you can't bet.
The no fun league.
That's not stopping them, I promise you.
No, you're right.
According to the Chargers, nothing has changed since he practiced Wednesday, other than the guidance from the league.
Look, barring a bone sticking out, he's going to play Sunday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In college, Florida's freshman quarterback DJ Lagway is expected to start Saturday night against Samford. Graham Mertz left the third quarter, if you didn't know, of Saturday's loss with a concussion. Lagway did lead a 9-play, 58-yard scoring drive against Miami, so Billy Napier having to go to his emergency button probably earlier than he thought.
So Samford out of Birmingham is the opponent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would think it's fair to say that if this doesn't turn out well, old Billy can pack his bags because Sunday he will be vamoose, out, gone, fired, expelled.
That's not going to happen just yet. I don't think they'll get beat by Samford.
No, I don't either.
Do we know anything about Samford?
They're the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
they can throw the ball all over the place. Chris Hatcher, part of that Hal Mummy air raid deal.
That could be sneaky.
Yes.
You never know.
I do wonder how Billy Napier is going to survive this. I just don't see it.
I was talking to somebody on Saturday after the Vandy game, and we're leaving the game, and she said, yeah, Billy Napier has a lot of Derek Dooley in him. And I said, he also feels like a little bit of Jeremy Pruitt as well. Just, I don't know. It feels like he does not have control of the locker room. So DJ Lagway, the young kid starting for the Gators. Also, according to NOLA News, LSU running back John Emery Jr. is expected to miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL.
Bad.
He also suffered, I remember having this in one of the updates last year. He suffered a torn ACL that cut his season short last year. So that's brutal news for LSU coming off a loss to USC that I don't think many people expected. USC was a lot better, but now they lose their running back. So
these are not good times in the Bayou.
No.
Who they got this week?
Nichols.
Oh, anytime Nichols comes to town, you can throw out the records.
Absolutely.
Nichols?
Wonder
what they were paid. Probably nickels.
That's a recipe for getting well, for sure.
Yeah, they were probably paid nickels on the dollar.
Well, you remember I brought up the UConn to the Big 12 thing? Mm-hmm. Well, that has paused.
Pause.
Brett Yormark has announced a pause.
What does that mean, pause?
It doesn't seem good. I mean,
well, no. I mean, look, I know what it means. It's a word to say we're not getting it done right now, so we'll table it and come back and see if anybody feels differently down the road.
What I thought was interesting, under the plan that was discussed, UConn's football program wouldn't have joined the Big 12 until 2031, with other sports joining sooner. So it would still be another 7 years.
So what would they have been, an independent?
That's what I would guess. Well, that kind of struck me. They weren't going to even join until 2031. So those talks have been paused. Here's a really, have y'all heard of Chiefsaholic, the Chiefs super fan? He would dress up as basically a werewolf with a Chiefs jersey on every game.
A werewolf?
Yeah, he had a wolf mask on.
I think I have seen him, yes.
Well, in a really weird story, he just got 17 years in jail for robberies. He admitted to stealing more than $800,000 in 11 robberies across 7 states and laundering the proceeds through casinos. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of bank robbery, 1 count of money laundering, and 1 count of transporting stolen property across state lines.
So do we think he paid for the Chiefs season tickets through these funds?
Honestly, you could be right there.
Yeah.
But
I remember money on the side.
Yeah, they had a feature on, I don't know if it was Sunday NFL Countdown, on him. It was about 20 minutes long. I remember watching it.
I wouldn't be so sure that they show his, while he's there, the request to see the Chiefs game. I'm not certain that Superfan will get that request.
No. Kelly, who you got tonight?
I think the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs they're the title holders. Till you beat them, they're the Chiefs, man.
I did see Lamar Jackson. He lost some weight because he wanted to. He didn't want to be fatigued as easily, so he worked on losing some weight this offseason.
He lost weight last year. I mean, good gracious. Yeah, I mean, what is he, 185 now?
He's got to be close to that now. I'd be interested to see. I'm interested to see Lamar.
Is your update done?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as good as you ballyhooed it.
Well, I didn't get
a lot.
What
about you, Kelly?
I'm with you, George, but I'm trying to help him out here. We're talking a little Chiefs Ravens, so I don't know. If he lost more weight, good gracious, man.
I will say, I didn't get a lot of feedback there from each note.
Well, okay. What did you want? I said on the Florida thing, if he loses to Sanford, he might as well pack his bags. What else do you want me to say?
With the updated.
Boy, that Florida program sure is moving in a good direction.
Billy, this is your update, Hoss. You've got to feed us.
This is your time to shine.
Okay, yeah. I'll do better. I'll get in the film room.
I thought it was a B-.
Yeah, sometimes we may not say anything. We can't help you with that. You've got to be on point.
I can only take what the news cycle gives me.
But no, you have to make up your own.
Figure it out. Figure it out, Billy.
Just make up stuff. Don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Yes.
Okay, after the break, Danny Evans will join us. We got a lot of stuff to talk to him about, including something close to home, but I can't figure out what the answer would be. I'll explain when we come back. You're listening to The George Plaster Show on 95.9 FM.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from. And for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5688. Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, Dial them up, 615-793-9500, or log on to ventureexpress.com.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com. Activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
We are back, and we will try to open the phones for your Danny Evans questions around 4:40. So let's move quick. Let's bring him up here. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Good, good. Listen, thank you for joining us. I want to get your take as somebody who's been in virtually any role conceivable in baseball. 2 nights ago, Whit Merrifield of the Braves, who I think is a really good player, and I always thought that in his days in Kansas City, got beamed. It wasn't intentional, but he really went off about it and, cited that there's too much of this going on and that there have to be penalties. And then a day later, he said, there going to be penalties. Danny, what could they do? I mean, I guess, you don't want to see anybody get hit in the head, but really, what can you do?
Yeah, first of all, George, I love that he spoke out about it because I think it's a major issue in the game where pitchers are being promoted before they're ready. They don't have fastball command. They're max efforting as much of their fastball as they can. And as a result, they can't command the arm side part of the plate. And there's a lot of guys going down. It's always right on right or left on left because they're just overthrowing. And when they overthrow, their mechanics cause the ball to move arm side. And it's an epidemic in the game because it's velocity over command, velocity over results. There's so many pitchers who, basically are not big league caliber. They just have big league velocity. And there's so much more to the game than just velo. But guys like that did that to him the other day, I loved what he said. And I think it's about time we did do something. Keep in mind, George, hitters now have more protection than ever before. They've got longer face masks, they've got arm protection, yet they still are getting hit at a rate far higher than ever before. And some people cite the lack of pitchers hitting, but I don't think that's the reason. I think retaliation did sneak in once in a while, but I think in this case, it's just guys that are over their skis when it comes to command in the big leagues, and it's causing a real problem in the sport.
Okay, this may be, and Kelly, listen closely, the dumbest baseball question I will ever ask. Danny, is part of the solution almost a football helmet for a batting helmet?
Yeah, but George, you're trying to follow a little baseball, and if it got lost through the, the rails of the face mask, you could have blind spots. And I think that I want to hear what he believes would be the fix, what would be the repair, because to this point, I've never been able to figure out what it would be. But Kelly, it's almost like spearing, where you don't know you're being speared until you get speared. And that's too late. It's just way too late. And I think, George, you bring up a great question, because fear is inevitable in baseball. There is fear. It's just hitters overcome it. You overcome it as a young player. You overcome it as a high school, college player. But when guys don't command their fastball and they're throwing 94 to 100 miles an hour, you've got 3/5 of a second to get the hell out of the way. And that is just not enough time.
Is it
3/5
legal?
of a second?
Yeah.
3/5 of a second?
That's
wow.
it. Yeah, and you got to make your mind up, Kelly, when the ball is like 45 feet from home plate. By that point, it's too late. The brain and the body can't coordinate. So you're literally, when they talk about guess hitting, you're always guess hitting. Ophthalmologists have indicated that you really never see the ball hit the bat because you can't. It's just not physically possible.
Danny, we've talked about this a lot in the college game, and what I'm hearing is, well, the seams need to be fixed. The baseball, something's got to happen with the baseball. Would that affect anything at the pro level? Maybe not speed, but I've heard that a lot.
No, because if there's more seam, Billy, there's more spin, and with more spin, you can impart the ball in, out, up, down.
So you're saying the seams can't be lowered, is what you're saying at this point?
No,
okay.
God forbid, no. If they do that, if they mess around with the seams, we'll have even more problems on our hands if it goes bigger or smaller. The problem, Billy, is we're emphasizing, or no, I shouldn't say that. Some people are emphasizing velocity versus effectiveness and command. And, when you see a young pitcher like Schomburg and you see some of the really good arms in the game commanding their fastball versus guys like this who don't, the White Sox, the Rockies, allow the inept clubs, they rush their guys. And when they rush their guys, they don't have fastball command. They're just trying to light up that radar gun. And guys, you can light up that radar gun, but that doesn't make outs. It just makes radar gun readings.
Danny, is it legal for a player to wear a football type helmet if he so desires?
Oh, sure. As long as it's approved by Major League Baseball, George, any equipment you use on the field has to go through the collective bargaining process. So the union, the players, and the clubs would have to get together. And there's a committee for on-field equipment. I think the fear here is not the helmet's not good enough. It's that the pitchers aren't good enough. And what we have is we've got 700 pitchers in the big leagues this year, George. And a lot of them, they turn around, they look at the radar gun reading instead of worrying location, worrying about command. And it's a real problem in the game because young players think that's their pathway. But in reality, getting 27 outs is how you win a ball game. It's not having the maximum velocity in the game.
Go, Kelly.
Danny, isn't that like a systemic thing? Because you look at, that's what the projectables are. I mean, you've got to be able to throw hard. So when a guy is throwing hard, but he doesn't have command, well, the scout says, well, we can work with him, or the coach says we can work with him. It's just like in the NFL. We're talking about some kids that are in college right now that turn the ball over, that can't make plays, but coach says, well, he wasn't coached right. Well, don't these coaches, there's a lot of ego that goes into it. Don't a coach think, well, hey, he can throw it hard, so we'll get his accuracy better.
Yeah, and Kelly, it's a wonderful point. The problem is there's ineptitude in poorer organizations that don't teach pitching very well. They don't
Correct.
teach mechanics. And that starts at the youth level. That starts in little league and high school, works its way up to summer ball and college. And they don't harness this good fastball. They want the number. They want the high number. And the high number, honestly, Kelly, think about Greg Maddux. He won 355 games. And the last 10 years of his career, he never touched 90 miles an hour. He had 80 command. And I think these kids today are emphasizing velocity over command. But the problem is it's permeating into the coaches and the instructors. They're just trying to get you 90 and above. Well, 90 and above that's not over the plate is harmful to the hitter, but it's also a really bad concoction to try to win a ball game.
Kelly, if you got a couple of things, go with them.
Well, I was just going to – isn't that – like that's what kids are preached when they're younger. I mean, you've got to throw the ball fast. You've got to be in the mid-90s for them to look at you. So isn't that like, Major League Baseball kind of started that, or the scouting process kind of started that? Like, it's not the kid's fault. It's like the game's fault for, hey, if you can't throw it this fast, we're not even looking at you. And that's kind of where it's at right now, it seems to me.
Yeah, Kelly, it's a fallacy that is really something that's out there among the incompetent baseball people. It's not about velocity for the better clubs. It's about fastball command, hitting the glove. Hit the glove where the analytics say the hitter is most inept. And at the higher level of baseball, among the better organization, it's not velocity. It's fastball command, repertoire, and the ability to get through a lineup and commanding your pitches. The inept or poor clubs, they emphasize it because it's a quick fix. It's the guy who can come out and throw really hard. But Kelly, what good is a fastball at 97 if you can't throw it over the plate? Because that negates all your secondary stuff and basically neuters your entire repertoire because you're not throwing your fastball in spots where you can get hitters out.
So let me ask you this: if say a Greg Maddux comes along nowadays, as a high school kid or a college kid, and he throws 85 to 89 miles per hour, but he's got really good command, he's got a bunch of pitches. I mean, does he get looked at?
You bet, of course. Kyle Hendricks, great example. Kyle Hendricks is 84, 86. And I actually advised him coming out of high school, and I said, kid, you're not going to get the big money that the bigger guys get, but you're going to pitch a long time in the big leagues. And Kelly, here's the thing. In the big leagues, it's all about results. It's all about performance. It's not about future. It's not about tools. It's about execution and the ability to get outs in critical points of the ballgame. That is not necessarily velocity. That's pitching to a game plan. Command, just for the listeners and for the viewers, command is so different than control. In my class, I always teach my kids that control is merely in that box, in that zone that denotes balls and strikes that we're so used to seeing on television and streaming today. But command is literally hitting the glove. And at the big league level, Kelly, they hit the glove 70% of the time as a big leaguer. That way you can defend, you can set up your defense to pitch to certain parts of the zone, of the quadrants to get guys out. But if you can't command your fastball, you can't get guys out in the big leagues regularly because you just can't do it. For me, it's one of those real bad recipes, and I love to cook, but I don't like to cook bad recipes because they don't taste real good.
70%, pretty big, man. That's a huge. I would never have thought that 70% of hitting the glove for major league pitchers.
They hit the glove, Kelly. Literally hit the glove. And for kids out there and parents, don't be enamored with breaking balls and velocity. You hit the glove, you're going to advance. You're going to get a college ride. You're going to get a lot of guys out. and nobody's going to change your patterns.
Let me end this with one last thing on this, and then we'll go to the break, take a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield says there will be punishment next season. I'll admit I don't believe that because I don't know what it could be. What do you think?
I'd love to know what it is. He obviously, I don't know what it is. I don't know that you can, immediate rejection. I mean, ejection. I don't know if it's a suspension. I don't know what it is, George. But if it's not fixed, we've only lost one person on the field in the history of the game. And we lost him in 1920. Carl Mays and Ben Chapman. And it's one of the greatest books I've ever read, The Pitch That Killed. But George, we're going to have a real serious incident if this doesn't get fixed, because all we're doing is flirting with disaster. And as someone who's been in the game my entire adult life, I really don't like it. I hope Merrifield has a good idea, and I hope people are working on it. I think we've made, candidly, some great changes in the game. This one has to get done.
Okay, let's do this. We're going to go to the break. We have been taking phone calls for Danny throughout the season, and you all have really enjoyed that. So I got 3 lines that are available. Now make it 2 at 615-844-5600. Let me give that one more time. 615-844-5600. We will take your phone calls next as you listen to the George Plaster Show on 95.9 FM. As you might be able to tell, my buddy Stan Harrison, he's an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, but he's actually here to talk about Apple Collision Centers.
Hello, Middle Tennessee. I'm Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers, and we understand the stress it causes in having an automobile accident. We can help you ease the stress of the auto body repair process at our 3 locations. We're conveniently located in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. We've got rental cars available, we have PDR technicians available, and we have windshield technicians available. Please stop by one of our places and see us if you need our services.
And by the way, when you come in his office, this just in, he's a sports fan.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
If you are paying too much for your health insurance, you need to contact Pancoast Benefits. Pancoast works with businesses and individuals to tackle the high cost of health insurance. Whether you are a business owner, large or small, self-employed, between jobs, or over the age of 65 and in need of a Medicare plan, Pancoast can help. They make understanding your benefits less difficult and more personal. Check them out today at pancoastbenefits.com or call 615-292-3400.
We are back. I've still got room for one more call. We'll take two of them right off the bat here in a minute. If you want to talk a little baseball with Danny Evans, 615-844-5600. Tony in Nolensville, you are the leadoff hitter.
I appreciate that. It's nothing like being a leadoff hitter. It's always good to be at the top of the order. Danny and George, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Danny, it's good talking to you again.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, I was wondering if we were connected.
Yeah.
Well, last night, Danny, I attended a Cubs Brewers game, and the Cubs beat them pretty good, 15-5. It happened to be my grandson's first T-ball game, though. I was hoping it was the real Cubs and Brewers, but it wasn't.
You know, I was sitting there thinking, I watched him go extra innings against the Cardinals. I was like, Tony's been drinking a little bit.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, George. I was thinking I didn't know about the doubleheader against different opponents.
Right.
Yeah, we had a no-no, then they had a doubleheader. Oh, I had to throw that in there, and I thought it was a little fun. Danny, I know the Cubs are still on the outside looking in, but they're so close, and as I told George a couple of weeks ago, they're creeping. I feel they're creeping into the playoffs. But looking at the schedule between the Braves and the Mets, who play each other, I think, one or two times. I know the Mets play the Phillies. I do think the Mets have the toughest schedule of the three between the Braves, Cubs, and Mets trying to get that last wild card spot. Do you think, in your heart, knowing that the schedule is heavier on the Mets and maybe so on the Braves, more so than the Cubs, do you think the Cubs are still too far out to overcome the difference in 22 games?
Well, first, Tony, thanks for calling. I don't think the Cubs have a chance. They're a long way out. They're 4.5 games out. I looked today at the Braves and the Mets, and if the Braves don't stay ahead of the Mets, it's the Braves' fault. They've got 15 home games out of 23, whereas the Metsies have 10 out of 22. The Mets play 7 games against the Phillies. There's a 3-game series between the Mets and the Braves in Atlanta in late September.
Yeah.
So this is all the Braves' hands. I mean, if the Braves don't get in, it's their fault. But as I said a few weeks ago, the Mets are playing really well. I mean, they've won 7 games in a row. I think it's between the Mets and the Braves. I like the Braves. I do not see the Cubs getting in. As a native Chicagoan, I enjoy them playing well. It sure offsets the other team in town. And I love watching Imanaga, but I think they're on the outside looking in, Tony.
And one last question, follow-up, and thank you on your answer and your honesty. Do you have right now a team who you think is possibly going to be go to the World Series out of the National League as far as being a more dominant team, and who might be that team to get to the World Series? I'm going to hang up and let the other callers in, George. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. And now, here are your San Diego Padres.
Right with you, Georgie. I think it's the Padres and the Dodgers. I think they've got a great shot in the American League. I think it's going to be the Yankees. I just think the Yankees are such a good club. And those two guys back-to-back in the order are going to be impossible in the postseason. They do get to bat every 9th time in the batting order, and I just think it's a really, really tough lineup to get through.
Let's go, Tom in Old Hickory. Tom, welcome to the show.
George, thank you. I got a couple of quick questions. I'll get off, but first I just want to say to you, God bless you for having a show where we don't have to turn it on and listen to 30 minutes and somebody talk about who the Titans' third-string quarterback's going to be. Quick questions.
We'll get to that here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Not with me, George.
Hey, 2 quick questions. First, had a buddy that pitched at UT and in the A's organization back in the late 80s. And along with what you're talking about pitching, he said he was essentially taught in this order, location, movement, and velocity being the third of those, the least important. Can you change speed? He said, look, hey, if you can't throw a strike, it doesn't matter if you can pitch or throw hard. So that's your – didn't know if you'd ever heard anything along those lines. My second question is, as a long-suffering Reds fan, are the Castellinis ever going to sell and get somebody, an ownership group in there that's serious about winning and not, just making money like most of them are? And y'all have a good day, and I'll listen. Thanks.
Not the first time that question's been asked.
I love it. Tom, I love the subscription to those three things. As a guy who didn't bring a radar gun to the ballpark, most games I scouted, I'm just not a big velocity guy. It's all about location, velocity, movement, and feel. I think if you read Ron Darling's book, you'll learn a lot about pitching, and I think it's terrific. Regarding the Reds, I'm a big Bob Castellini fan. I think he's terrific. He's a great guy. Got to know he and his staff really well with the Field of Dreams, and I just think they're one of those middle to small markets that have such a thin margin of error that everything has to go right for them to compete, and luckily they're in the right division to do that. Things aren't just going as well as it could, but look out next year, because I think that division might be one of the best divisions in baseball next year.
Mike in Melrose, say hello to Danny Evans.
Hello, Danny. Well, crazy fact about the Reds, they swept the Astros today. The Astros haven't beat the Reds since 2016, which they didn't play every year. That's 9 straight for the Reds over the Astros.
Crazy.
They've never beaten them as an American League team in Great American Ballpark.
Danny, last time I talked to you, I've been to Fenway. I went to Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and I went to a Nationals game last week when they were playing the Yankees. That was quite an atmosphere with the Yankee fans in town. I'm not so sure about those Yankees winning all. My Rangers put it to them without having a closer in there. That's kind of tough to do in postseason like that. Even though you got the 2 big bopper, they've kind of been pitching around Judge the last week or so.
Yeah, but if you pitch around Judge, you get the next guy, and he's pretty darn good. That was a great Aaron Boone shot a moment ago, by the way. I just think Holmes will figure it out before the postseason. I know he's lost 11 saves, but they're just too good a club. I just see them as a team that is going to have a little time to set their rotation. Their first-round opponent, for me, is going to be a team that's going to give them a shot. I think they're going to win the division. And I think as a result, they'll be playing Minnesota or Baltimore. And I think they'll have a good shot of getting into the LCS. I just like their chances.
Hey, my one question I have is, how much does it have to do as far as the players, the agent, the manager say so? So I talked to George a couple of weeks ago with Sager, our shortstop, taking these days off. Now he's going on the IL with a hip discomfort. That guy makes a lot of money not to be playing. I know they're out of it. It don't mean anything. And I'm sitting here watching the Giants today. They pulled Snell after the first inning, gave up 2 runs. Does that have something to do with the agent just saying, let's just shut him down and let's just save him for next year? I mean, these guys.
Great question.
No, an agent would
Mike,
never.
thank you.
Would never get into those conversations. This is the trainer, the strength and conditioning people, the team doctor, the coaches, the manager, the general manager. It's the agent just doesn't get involved in situations like that. They know their place and they're good at what they do, but they just can't meander into those conversations because you're blurring the lines of decision making.
Eric, I think this is the final call for Danny. Eric, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, George. Danny, I tell you what, I hope you're right on the Reds because I'm a Reds fan too. It's just so frustrating after they had that terrible season until the last game against the Brewers, especially 14-0 shutout. I guess it was Friday night. They lost, I think, something like 12 out of the last 16. Now they've won like 3 or 4 in a row. This is a hard team to figure, but I hope you're right about them next year.
Yeah.
As far as things go, I was going to talk about Clayton Holmes, but the guy right in front of me kind of stole my thunder a little bit, so I'll talk about another team. What has happened to the Kansas City Royals? Because A lot of people thought they were for sure in the playoffs. I don't know now if they're going to make it. What if they lost like 6 or 7 straight? What's going on with the Royals? And do you think they're going to be able to get it back together? Good talk to you, Danny, George. Y'all take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks,
Man, he
Eric.
got it out there quick.
That was good. Eric, your Reds are so mediocre, and those roller coaster traits are part of a mediocre team. The Royals lost 7 in a row. I think the Royals are going to be a tough club in the postseason. They lost their second best hitter, and he's out for about 6 to 8 weeks. And that's a big blow, but that's a good club. They're going to win 87, 88 games. They're going to get in. No way anybody's going to surpass them. I think they've got a heck of a race with Minnesota to be the B team in the wild card. And I think the Royals have made great moves. In fact, I think they made some of the best moves at the deadline. And if you haven't seen Bobby Witt play, folks, watch Bobby Witt play. He is a treat to watch Major League Baseball.
He has been on a roll for weeks.
MVP?
Not for me. For me, it's Judge, but Witt's in the conversation. And Witt's in the conversation as one of the best players in the game because his defense and his offense, along with his legs, are one of the best combinations in the game.
For those who don't know it, his father, Bobby Witt Sr., threw a perfect game to close out the 1984 regular season. So he comes by it honestly.
Nice job, Georgie. And now he's a great agent, and he's a terrific guy. But Bobby Witt Jr. is what's good about baseball. He's one of those guys, Kelly, that you just love to be around. He's a good person. He loves to play the game.
What a name, too.
Oh. Hey, on that, I got to run to use an old line. I hate to do this, but I got to run. Danny, thank you, as always.
Always good. And, George, I walk because if you don't stretch, it could get ugly.
He don't, so it will get ugly.
Wow.
Love you guys. Have a good weekend.
A cheap shot from Iowa,
Danny had a
Denver,
plan.
or wherever. See you later, Danny.
See you guys.
Kelly loved it. You know what? Kelly did. Kelly can.
I did. Anytime somebody gives it to you, I love it.
Yeah, great. We're back after this.
Good afternoon. They're trying to work this accident. Everybody's staring at it over here near Metro Center, 65 northbound at Rosa Parks. That's got the right lane blocked. There's a stalled truck that's partially out in traffic. 40 westbound at Fessler's. TDOT just rolled up with 2 units. That's got traffic slow in the westbound lanes. I-40 at Fessler's. Eastbound, of course, is really heavy, headed out towards Donaldson. 24, watch your speed out through Rutherford County. Princess Hot Chicken has new items. princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/healthy or text healthy to 511-511. Text healthy to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request. Paid for by Dr. Marty's Pets.
If you are paying too much for your health insurance, you need to contact Pancoast Benefits. Pancoast works with businesses and individuals to tackle the high cost of health insurance. Whether you are a business owner, large or small, self-employed, between jobs, or over the age of 65 and in need of a Medicare plan, Pancoast can help. They make understanding your benefits less difficult and more personal. Check them out today at pancoastbenefits.com or call 615-292-3400.
buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. Do you have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. Give them a call today at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. Buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris to the warning track. Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball! You have got to be kidding me! Swung on, belted, deep right field, gone!
Listen to the NL East defending champs, the Atlanta Braves, only on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
We got Underdog picks coming up with Greg Pogue, also Kelly Holcomb returning. I don't have to make his picks for him today, but we do have Stat of the Day before that. It's brought to you by Adam Whitehead Plumbing in Nashville. If you ever have issues with your water heaters, bathrooms, kitchen sinks, water or sewer lines, give Adam a call, 615-485-1534. All right, let's see where we're going today, and we are going NFL.
Wherever we're going, Kelly and I are going to get it.
Okay.
Nice, George. I like it.
The Ravens and the Chiefs play tonight in a rematch of the 2023 AFC Championship game. Who played the last time the NFL kickoff game was a rematch of a playoff game from the previous season?
Kelly, I know it.
Was it Bills and Chiefs?
Nope. It was
Bengals Chiefs?
No, hold on with me.
All right.
It was a Seattle Green Bay opener. Now, let me make sure. Was a rematch of a playoff game. Absolutely. It's Seattle and Green Bay.
Sorry, George.
What the hell?
Texans and Chiefs.
Wait a minute.
Go back to the question, Billy. Go back to the question.
Wait a minute. I'm right about that.
Are you sure?
I feel confident. I want you to research it during the break.
Okay.
Because I am not about to be told I lost.
You might have stumped intern Ty.
I think I did.
This is a big moment here. He's listening.
Yes, Seattle and Green Bay, when Aaron Rodgers was there, opened a regular season. I think I'm right about it.
Texans and the Chiefs in 2020.
The Texans made the playoffs in 2020? I guess so.
All right. In 2020, Texans and the Chiefs.
Okay.
You're talking Seattle and Green Bay, George?
Seattle and Green Bay. And
what year?
During the it's sometime in the 2010s.
Oh, no. When's the last time?
Yeah.
Who played the last time?
Well, to hell with that. I got it right. Just because I can't read.
Yeah, George does struggle with those questions. He has to read it like 4 or 5 times. Dude. I mean, where did you get your education from, BGA?
No, it's not so much that. It's that it's this little print, and I have to lean over. What?
George, it's okay if you have trouble comprehending what you read. It's okay, man.
Lean over,
no big deal.
Turn on the hearing aid. I think I'm right, though, that Seattle and Green Bay did play a start of the season game after a playoff game. Okay, I hear the music. Here's what we got in the 5 o'clock. We got some good stuff. We've got Underdog picks to start the 5 o'clock hour. We'll get into the NFL opener tonight, and we'll get into Memphis. Honk if you've heard this one before. The NCAA is in their backyard. Imagine that. Stay tuned.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR. Brentwood.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Georgia prosecutors charging the 14-year-old suspected gunman in yesterday's deadly shooting at Appalachia High School with 4 counts of felony murder. The FBI says it investigated tips last year the teen was threatening to shoot up a school, but say there was not enough reason to bring charges. Today, President Biden in Wisconsin at a convention and then called for stronger and sensible gun laws and to help limit access.
There are too many people who are able to access guns that shouldn't be able to. So let's require safe storage of firearms. I know I have mine locked up.
In Los Angeles, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was in court today, pleaded guilty to 9 counts in a federal tax trial. Earlier, prosecutors rejected defense attorney attempts for an Alford plea, which would have allowed Hunter to plead guilty while maintaining his innocence on the conduct of charges. He'll be sentenced December 16th. And dangerous triple-digit temperatures keeping a grip in the Southwest and West Coast. This is ABC.
All states are prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Need cash help but have bad or no credit? Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio. From the Nashville Sports Radio Media Complex. Welcome back to the George Plaster Show. Call George now at 615-844-5600 and online at WNSR.com. And now, George Plaster.
Featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Watson Brown, Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Kelly Holcomb, along with Gun Gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the show from our digs at the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. We're about to get into Underdog picks. Do we know where Pogue is?
Who knows?
Really?
No sign of him.
He said he was coming on in his last segment with George.
He did.
And what are we doing?
Pogue and the Link don't get along.
Oh, they don't?
It's like finding a needle in the haystack.
Well, Billy, that's your fault.
Kelly, I can take you off right now.
First of all, you've got some explaining to do in a minute. Billy, why don't we review exactly what did go on in week 1?
Well, Kelly's pick, Wyoming, ended up losing to Arizona State 48-7.
No, you're not going to. No, we're not going to have just move on. You need to explain what it is you thought you knew going into it.
Well, I didn't think anything. I'll be honest with you. I was on my way to Missouri, to watch that boat racing up there, and I totally forgot about it. And then all of a sudden, Billy texted me and said, "I need your pick," and I scanned through there. And Wyoming has been good to me over the years because I've went with Wyoming several times, and they've always won for me. I think, with the exception of once. And then the other night, I was looking at the scores, and I'm like, these dudes didn't even get off the bus. That was awful. Oh, Josh Allen's former team, former college, not good. Whatever. Move
They
on.
fell off the map. I mean, how do you? Arizona State is one of the worst teams in the Big 12.
I happened to hear it coming home from the rain-delayed game at Middle, MTSU and Tennessee Tech, and I'll admit, is it possible I chuckled? I did.
I chuckled too when I saw the score.
You know, the first year that I ever used the term "book it," Arizona State. It was whatever year that the bubble screen first started, where linemen could get downfield.
Yeah,
and so I did this massive book it for a 9:30 game that was going to be on national TV between Miami and Arizona State. And so I went through this lengthy thing about how Arizona State is going to take it to Miami, big upset, book it. The final score was like 74-8. And I had some real explaining to do the next week. Joe Biddle roasted me. Oh,
Did
my
he really?
God. Yes. And
George, when did you start this?
Oh, gosh. We've been, I don't know. I want to say mid-90s. I know that by the time I was doing Vanderbilt games that we were doing this. So it's before the mid-90s. And seems a little quick with the graphic there, doesn't it?
I thought we said review.
Well, yeah, but I mean, don't you go through them all and then show the standings?
Talk a little bit, Billy.
Okay. Well, we're waiting on Pogue, so.
Does that have you that flustered?
Pogue got lost in his house
I'm a perfectionist.
in Smyrna trying to find it.
Move on, Billy.
Well, yeah, okay. I thought Pogue was coming on. My bad. George, Notre Dame, +3 on the road against Texas A&M.
I have always been a big booster of the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
can't tell you.
You did not have much belief for them going up there.
I hoped they would get smoked.
Yeah. Well, you were wrong.
And I have prospered because of it. It should really bother you, Billy, that a team that I absolutely don't like
made you money.
No, it's got me in first place.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Really, why can't Notre Dame get right, man? They should, it's been since 1988. Am I correct with that? Since the last national championship, and they've got everything. What is the deal? They've got an NBC deal where they give them loads of money. They can get anybody they want. Are we holding up to educational standards? What are we doing? Why haven't they won a national championship since then?
How would he know? He's never been to a game.
True. He's never been to South Bend, which is a joke.
Relax. They don't get the same athletes. They've got higher. They've got high academic standards. Not every player is able to get into Notre Dame.
Give me a break.
I mean, it's true. It's the same thing with every other academic school.
Billy, save it.
Yeah, really.
Notre Dame is different. They're not like LSU and Alabama and
What do
Tennessee.
you mean by that exactly?
What does that mean?
And then I'm going to give out your phone number.
They don't take every type of kid. So they don't get
Really?
I mean, they have historically they don't get the same level of athlete as other schools do.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that so?
I don't buy into that.
So
Billy.
all
I really
those
don't.
times,
that's not
so all the
earth-shattering
times,
news.
So all the times they have won national titles, it's completely overachieving.
Yeah, out coaching people, out scheming people.
Really smarter.
Yep.
Really?
A little bit of luck
Is
on their
that
side,
so? Well, this is very interesting. Kelly?
I mean, it last came in 88, you know.
He's digging a green grave.
Yeah, really bad, Billy.
How
I mean,
did Pogue?
They had Lou Holtz there, son, with Jerome Bettis and Rocket Ismail and all them guys. How did they get those guys?
Well, those are good. Those were good students. There are players
really?
that come around every
Okay.
once in a while that are great students and can get into Notre Dame.
I wonder how many times Jerome Bettis went to class.
I think you'd be surprised.
You think so? Okay, all right.
How
Maybe
much
so.
of this
I'm
are we going to have to listen to? Good Lord.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, this comes straight out of the.
When has Notre Dame ever been caught in some scandal? You're acting like Notre Dame is some
Manti Te'o.
That was a catfishing. That's not.
It was a what?
That was a catfishing.
Okay.
You know what that is?
No, not really.
Explain it
That
to
was
him,
the
Billy.
whole term, George.
Explain it to him, Billy. I want to hear this. We want to hear the airwaves want to hear this, Billy. Explain it to George.
Where the hell is Pogue?
He has no signal where he lives in Smyrna. I'm trying to tell you that.
You think that's what's happened? So how
Absolutely.
did Pogue do last week?
Pogue lost.
He had Stanford.
He had
and
the
at
Stanford
the half,
Cardinal.
They looked pretty good. It looked like a pretty good pick. They got beat 34-27, and to be honest, deep into the fourth quarter, they were right there. They look much improved than what I saw of them a year ago.
Yeah, Troy Taylor, he's done a good job. Pogue, I thought had a good pick, but TCU knocks off Stanford.
He has sent word that he's on the stream.
Well, he's not on the stream.
Okay, so we have a dispute over. I would assume if he were wherever he says he is, we would be able to hear him
and see him, but I cannot see him. He is not on the stream.
Okay.
And
So-
George, whose fault is that? Let's say it together. Whose fault is that?
Pogue's.
Please.
So do we have you showed standings there.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
This is this week's order.
Oh, looky here.
Wow, look at my
Look at
hair,
those
too. I had brown
pictures.
hair.
God.
Oh,
And
wow.
George looks like a distinguished gentleman. Like, seriously,
Yeah,
George?
with a coat and tie that match.
Wow.
Where'd you find that?
Google Images.
Really? Okay.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
Okay, so at this moment, we would be getting ready for, Pogue is with us. Let's bring him up there. Pogue, what's the problem?
The problem is that 3 different occasions I logged in to the StreamYard link. I was sitting there with my face on the camera, and the line beside of it said, the host will bring you in soon. And I did that 3 times. After that, I have no idea. So I hung up and I called you, and yeah, I can hear 560 in Bowling Green or Fayetteville, our hometowns, okay? Much less your
Now,
own.
that's an issue that you need to take up with Kelly.
About our signal? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
down there, I can hear it in Fayetteville.
okay. That's good.
Billy's fault,
back
Pogue.
home
Just
every
blame it on Billy.
Yeah, when all else fails, blame it on Billy. Okay, so
Not
now
really.
we're.
I don't know. I mean, I linked into the link to the link, and I was unlinked.
That's really a tragedy. Are we now prepared for this week's picks?
Yes, we are. This
Okay.
week's order is George Plaster, and then Kelly Holcomb, and then Greg Pogue. So, Hal, back in the studio, we're going to kick it off.
Wait.
Oh, my gosh.
So last week, time out, Billy, Kelly, George. Last week, I went as the defending champion. I got relegated to second because of Kelly's, and good for him. He should be in Missouri, okay? I get that. That's a family thing. And so I relinquished the 1 spot to move to 2, and now I am in 3.
Yeah, you go 1, 2, 3, 2, 3,
Right,
1,
yeah, but you took
3,
the one
1,
that I
2.
had away from me.
Oh, whatever.
I
I
had
mean,
the one and I deferred.
if it will,
Who's
if
two?
it will make Pogue happier,
No,
put
that's
me.
fine. Who's two? Whoever is Kelly two? I gave him my number one last week.
Kelly is 2.
Okay, Kelly, go ahead. I'm not ready.
Who cares?
So
Does care.
we have music.
Oh, well, this is certainly an occasion.
We've got music, and we're
Uh-huh.
going to kick it off with George Plaster. George?
Yes, Billy, I'll give you a pick when I'm ready. Okay? Don't rush me. I'm going the Tulane Green Wave at home against Kansas State. You like that one, Kelly?
I do like that one.
Uh-huh.
Told you that guy can coach.
Tulane against Kansas State is George's pick. As I look for the line on that game.
It's early on, Billy. Come on. Act like a commissioner, for God's sakes.
Let's see. Don't rush me, George.
I like the song in the background.
All right,
but
Kansas State is a 9-point favorite, so Tulane getting 9 against K-State as the song continues. All right, so George going with Tulane plus 9 against Kansas State. That's an 11 a.m. kick on ESPN. That is in New Orleans. All right. Up next is Kelly Holcomb.
I'm in the Mississippi River, she's a gold dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown.
One of the greatest songs ever, man.
What in the hell is this?
Thank you, Billy.
Good
Thank you, Billy.
Lord.
I've been using that for 17 years now. It's worked for me. Won this competition a couple of times with my man Hank Williams Jr. Let's roll with it. You know what? That was a good pick, George. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say that Nevada, who went down to Troy last week and beat Troy at Troy, they
That's
play
a
another
really
Sun
good
Belt
win.
team. They play another Sun Belt team at home, and they're dogs to Georgia Southern. So I'm going to say the Nevada Wolfpack beats Georgia Southern.
All right, Nevada plus 1 at home against Georgia Southern. 6 o'clock. That game is on True TV.
Now, Kelly,
It's a plus 1. It's a plus 1, Billy. I thought on mine it was a plus 3. What are we looking at? I forget.
I'm seeing plus 1 on ESPN Bet.
It's a plus 3.
Where are you looking at it on?
Communist. Well, don't worry about that.
Yeah, you're looking at it on Holcomb Sportsbook. All right, Nevada. All right, I'll give.
He bought a copy of the Huntsville Times yesterday.
Nevada. We'll give Kelly 3. I'll confirm.
Oh, hell no! I've got it at 1.
Gosh,
Okay,
what
so
are we
George
looking
has
at?
over.
George, what are we
George
looking at?
overrides it.
Okay, so hold on here.
You want 3?
Then
Tell
since
us
I'm-
where the number came from. Okay.
Do you want to
Pogie,
switch
pipe
your
down.
pick?
Pogie, pipe down in the peanut gallery, Hoss. We don't need to hear you right now. It's not your shot, okay? So, what are we looking at? Because if we're going to do that, what is the Michigan and Texas line?
The Michigan and Texas line.
What y'all just make your rules up as you go? I guess I'm having
A pick laid is a pick played. I just don't think we can change. But Billy,
No, I
who
will
will be
allow.
under threat of death?
Kelly didn't know this is a mulligan. It's only week 2. I will allow this for Kelly. So
Thank you, Billy.
Texas.
What do you mean he didn't know? He's been playing
I'm looking
this.
at a different. I know, but I'm looking at.
Hey,
a
there's
different
all
line,
kinds
George,
of different lines out there. Just relax.
What is Pogue?
Mine was actually 3.5 on mine with the Nevada Georgia
my God,
Southern.
it'll
But
be 5 by the time I get home.
you know
All
what?
right.
Just keep it, Billy. Just keep it. Don't worry about it. Just keep it.
Okay.
Nevada.
So Kelly, being the bigger
I
man.
hope you win and get that point. You'll get a go ahead.
Seriously.
You'll go ahead.
Great.
From the three.
That's great.
You'll go ahead of Pogue.
We lose.
Okay, so Kelly is going +1 Nevada at home against Georgia Southern Saturday night. All right, up next, Greg Pogue.
Roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel.
Hey, by the way, thank you, Kelly. The rest of this segment, I want to be referred to as Bernie Brewer. Okay.
Bernie Brewer, got it. Do you have a pick, Pogue?
Oh yeah, I do. I tell you what, I'm gonna go. Hey, ball fans, I'm gonna go NC State plus the 10. A lot of hype, a lot of Nico. Nico has not gone on the road. Maybe he did once last year. Played this kind of game, the bowl game against a junior pro offense last year. That team blowing out Iowa. So I'm gonna take NC State plus the 10 to knock off the Vols.
Why don't you give out your phone number, Pogue?
Most people have it. I'm easy to find.
Kelly, do you really think NC State wins that game?
I do not. But who
I
knows?
do not.
I mean,
I do not
I don't
either.
know. Yeah, no.
But let me ask you this, Kelly. You should have you were going to go Michigan plus the 7. That was my other one. So, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I thought the Nevada had a little bit more meat on the bone. On mine, it did, but obviously I'm looking at the wrong one. So there's a bunch of lines.
Can you tell us what site you have that you've been looking at?
Man, I've looked at Vegas Insider for 20 years.
And
they've got all they've got all
There's your
lines
problem.
on there. So yeah, exactly. You're
No,
right.
no, Billy. Kelly is absolutely right. Vegas Insider has the consensus of the top 6 line purveyors, and they do their own consensus. Vegas Insider is
Save it.
absolutely the best place.
I'm with Billy.
Thank you.
Save it.
Thank you.
Me and George both had the
I don't
same.
know what you're talking about.
I know, because y'all are losers.
That's out of bounds. That is a personal foul.
15 yards.
That's a 15-yarder right there. Pogue, where are you headed this weekend?
Fargo, North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this
the game?
North Dakota or North Dakota State?
State.
State.
State, the one that took Colorado to the limit last week.
And this is
yeah.
and it's a dome stadium, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Fargo Dome, correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, this team's won like 9 national championships.
Yeah.
They're, the top. Let me give you, and I'll let you go. But the top, you let me go. But the top 5 teams in the national FCS standings: North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana, and Montana State. That's the 5 top ranked teams in the country.
Interesting. Pogue, have a safe trip.
Thank you. I always love that people say, have a safe trip. I'm not flying the plane, so it's out of my control.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And
Take care.
I got to do something. Can I ask this every Thursday at 5? It seems like I'm always stuck in traffic. So I got to figure out, just go hit the first bar I see and wait.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
No, I didn't say it was.
Kelly liked that one.
Pogue,
Pogue,
silly, man.
Safe travels.
See you, bud. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Greg Pogue from Lord only knows where.
Parts
unknown.
Who knows? I feel good about mine. So in review, I've taken Tulane +9 at home against Kansas State. Kelly has chosen Nevada, which is a 1-point dog at home against Georgia Southern
Way to go.
in a
I'm just trying
game
to get a
that
win.
will be on True TV. Woo.
Al Jazeera.
Yeah, that'll be a big one. And Pogue, attempting to piss off half of the world in this state, has taken NC State plus 10 against Tennessee. After the break, we will talk about tonight's NFL opener. It's just a couple hours away. Stick around. You're listening to The George Plaster Show on 95.9 FM.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank & Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank & Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from. And for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5688.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. And evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. NFL regular season begins tonight with the Chiefs at home at Arrowhead hosting the Baltimore Ravens. There it is. It's on NBC tonight at 7:20 Nashville time. Kelly, the Chiefs are trying to three-peat, and you know better than probably any person we could have on how difficult an achievement this is that Kansas City's trying to do. Tell us kind of in your mind what the pitfalls are that they deal with as they try to make it 3 in a row.
I don't know if there's any it's never been done. I just, there's expectations, but I don't know in the NFL. I think it's a lot different in college. You get a team like, Alabama's had in years past, or Clemson, or, that it's kind of a can't miss deal, but you got to get out there and play the game. This is a tough match, but I think, looking back at last year, it was the same deal. Obviously, Kansas City was in Baltimore, and they went up there and beat Baltimore at their place
in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Baltimore, I think they only gave it to the running back like 6 times in that game. So they were relying a little bit too much on Lamar Jackson. I think that's the reason that they got the beloved Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry. I think you're probably going to see a little bit more runs from those guys. I think they've got two new offensive linemen on their starting O line, which I will see how they mesh. I mean, Chris Jones is a big dude. He causes a lot of disruption, so it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. I don't think the Ravens can beat Kansas City, but with that being said, you never know about what Lamar Jackson's going to do, and he can. I think putting Derrick Henry and him both in the backfield, I think there's always a lot of not sleeping for a defensive coordinator, but when you've got another guy in the backfield that can tote the ball like Derrick Henry, I think that's even more not sleeping from a defensive coordinator. I'm sure he took a lot of Ambien last night to sleep. I don't know, though. I just think that Kansas City's too good. I think Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and all those guys, Andy Reid does a really good job of scheming people. He's really innovative in things he does, and the things that Patrick Mahomes can do, although they're bringing in a new left tackle, a younger guy as a left tackle. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting, but I'm ready for football season and the NFL to start, and it's starting tonight.
Okay, let me try it maybe a different way. If you go back to Christmas Day last year, the Raiders went into Arrowhead and ripped the Chiefs around pretty good. And everybody at that point said they're dead. And to be honest, Kelly, it looked like they were mentally exhausted from just the baggage of trying to go back to back.
Right.
And somewhere they were able to rally. Now, my suspicion is a lot of this is that they've got, the number one greatest quarterback of this era, the after Brady era. What I guess what I'm asking is it more the physical grind of a season for them now, or is it the mental baggage that everywhere they go, they're going to get everybody's best shot?
Well, they've been getting everybody's best shot. That's just the way the NFL is, and they're the best team. They've won. I think Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls. They've won back-to-back Super Bowls. So they're the best team. It's a little bit of both, George. It's physical and mental. There's a lot of wear on you. Interviews you have to do every week. The preparation that you have to do every week, getting in the weight room, keeping your body right, getting massages, getting in the cold tub. After games, you're going to get hit a bunch. You're going to be sore. You've got to take care of your body because my agent used to tell me all the time, that's your number one asset is your body. And you've got to take care of that. So it's a little bit of everything. Plus, you're getting everybody's best shot. But in the National Football League, you're getting everybody's best shot anyway. I've told you this before. I can remember when I was with the Indianapolis Colts and we were 0-10, and the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre had won the Super Bowl the year before. That's when they had Reggie White, and they came into Indianapolis. We were literally 0-10. They had just won the Super Bowl the year before, and we beat those guys. So that's what happened last year when you talked about the Raiders coming into Kansas City and beating them. You're going to have an off night some nights. And when you have an off night in the professional ranks, you're going to get beat. And if you're not prepared, you're going to get beaten. Sometimes the cylinders aren't going in the same direction a lot of times. And that's going to happen in the NFL. You've got to be up for every game, and it's just hard to be up for every game. Some games I remember my quarterback coach in Cleveland was like, you just never understand this game because sometimes you have great weeks of practice and you think you're ready and you go in and you lay a dud. And then other weeks you have a terrible week of practice and you go in, you play lights out. So it's human nature. I don't know. If somebody could bottle that up and understand that, can make a lot of money because you come out flat sometimes. I don't think either team will be flat tonight, but you never know. I mean, it's the first game, nationally televised. Everybody's watching it. I'm excited for it, but I just think that until you beat the Chiefs and until you understand how to control Patrick Mahomes, which nobody's been able to do, it's hard. It's hard to beat those guys, and it's absolutely hard to beat them in Kansas City because have you ever been to Kansas City Stadium,
Oh,
George? Now,
I
this is
have.
a new
I've
one.
done a game at Arrowhead, and it's terrific.
It's the loudest place I've ever played. I can remember being there, and our huddle, guys could not hear me, and I had to kneel down in the huddle. Guys had to lean over where they could block a little bit of the noise out. Excuse me. And it's just a loud place. It's hard to play.
You're struggling, so I'm going to take over there for a second. Yeah. One of the things I thought was plaguing them a year ago, as they had wide receivers get hurt, and in some cases, wide receivers that didn't seem to be able to catch the football, it was the first time that I thought Patrick Mahomes had to deal with less than the best wide receiver core in the league. And help me, Billy, who's the kid from Texas who can
Xavier
fly?
Worthy.
Yeah. So they've gone out and gotten him in the draft, and people believe that the long ball that had gone away is coming back.
Yeah. And when they get rid of Tyreek Hill, everybody thinks they're done too, and then they just keep rolling. It all starts with Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows that. It starts with him and Travis Kelce. I mean, they're on the same page. It's unbelievable. You can guard him with two guys. You can bracket him. He understands coverage. He understands when you got him man to man. He understands when two guys. And Patrick Mahomes is still going to throw the ball to him because they've got such a chemistry together. So Andy Reid understands that the game is offense. He gets that, and he's always going to have weapons. I remember when I was with him in Philadelphia, we had weapons, and he understands that that's the game. He understands that he's got the best quarterback in the National Football League. Now, if we can keep Travis Kelce and you can sprinkle in some guys outside, like you're talking about, the young man from Texas, about taking the top off the field and getting down the field. It's so hard to stop those guys, and it's so hard to stop him when his whole game is not on rhythm. I mean, a lot of times he throws the ball on rhythm, but a lot of times holds the ball and he can just by himself a split second or two and find an open guy. It's just tough.
We got our first look at Derrick Henry in a Ravens uniform tonight, and I'll be interested to see. I know Derrick has gotten older, but is he looking to? I mean, he's obviously looking to prove people wrong, but what does he look like?
I think he looks like the Derrick Henry he's always looked like. I don't believe he lost a step here. Now, Kelly, I may be naive. His offensive line lost a step. He got the hell beat out of him.
Yeah, that was his deal last year. They just could not block people, and that he couldn't get going. He's not like the guys that the Titans have now with Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. He's not like those guys. He can't cut like those guys, but he's a downhill guy, and when he gets going, he's hard to stop. I'm like, I would not ever get in front of that guy. I'm a safety or something. I'm not doing that. Of course, I'm soft as cotton, as we know already. I used to be tougher than I am now, but he's a load to bring down, and it is going to be interesting. I'm with Billy. I don't know if he's lost a step either. I'm kind of with George on that, but it's going to be interesting to see how he does with a better offensive line.
Okay, 7:20 tonight on NBC Channel 4 locally. After the break, all hell's breaking loose in Memphis. The Tigers have the NCAA in their backyard, so to speak. And I don't think that's good news for the program, and I'm not sure it's good news for Penny Hardaway. We'll talk about it when we come back. You're listening to The George Plaster Show on 95.9 FM. As you might be able to tell, my buddy Stan Harrison, he's an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, but he's actually here to talk about Apple Collision Centers.
Hello, Middle Tennessee. I'm Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers, and we understand the stress it causes in having an automobile accident. We can help you ease the stress of the auto body repair process at our 3 locations. We're conveniently located in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. We've got rental cars available, we have PDR technicians available, and we have windshield technicians available. Please stop by one of our places and see us if you need our services.
And by the way, when you come in his office, this just in, he's a sports fan.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
If you're having plumbing issues, there's only one guy to call. That's Adam Whitehead. As a third-generation plumber, Adam was born and raised right here in Bellevue. Customers praise his professionalism, efficiency, and personability. Adam is known for his prompt response to emergencies and for providing high-quality repairs at reasonable prices. His expertise extends to various plumbing issues, including sink leaks, dishwasher installations, and outdoor water issues. Call him at 615-485-1534. That's 615-485-1534.
JHACompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
Okay. I'm going to just simply read a little bit of the story that got out earlier this morning. Hours after Memphis basketball coach Penny Hardaway suddenly fired 4 staff members, the university confirmed the existence of an anonymous letter alleging serious NCAA violations within the Tiger program. The letter, which was obtained by ESPN, alleges Hardaway's personal involvement in potential recruiting and academic violations. Quote, "The University of Memphis is aware of the anonymous letter, and it has been shared with the NCAA." This according to a university spokesman. Hardaway announced Wednesday morning, 2 months before the start of the college basketball season, the firing of 4 assistant coaches. Now, in the backdrop, Kelly, is a new athletic director who has been there way less than a year. Also in the backdrop is an incredibly popular in Memphis, Penny Hardaway, who may not be as popular today as he was before he got the job, but all of us remember when he got hired that there was an absolute just demand by the Memphis fan base that he get it. There is also a feeling amongst some Division I college head coaches, even though none of them will say it publicly, a belief that this guy has absolutely no regard for any rules that may still exist in the NCAA. Some of you are saying, I didn't know there were any rules left. There apparently are some. Kelly, this is going to get nasty
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get nasty, George. It looks like he paid some coaches to make sure that some of the kids came to his program and committed to his program. So I don't. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I saw something I was reading because I knew we were doing this in the New York Times, talking about, Penny Hardaway was part of the movie Blue Chips with Nick Nolte in it, and,
Right.
and that's what all that was about, paying players. And then now he's gotten caught up in it. Of course, you don't know everything to the story, but with all the things that are going on now in college sports and paying players, NIL is different. I mean, Chris Doring talked about that. NIL is supposed to be name, image, and likeness, and schools are kind of using it differently. But when you're giving coaches money so that one of your kids commit, that's a little shaky there.
One of the problems with this is that there is a long history of NCAA investigations, cheating, paying players, going back before I was their announcer, going back to the Dana Kirk era. And I have always believed, now I have no proof of this, but when the University of Memphis tried like all get out to get the Big 12 to take them, I think the Big 12 just said it's a renegade program.
Do you think that's what it was? Because
I do think it's what it was.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, man. It really is, because it seems like that he's won 20 games ever since he's been there, but he just can't get. I think he's had 2 NCAA tournament appearances, but he can't win a game. Like, from a storied program, kind of like Memphis, because Calipari, like you've talked about, I mean, they've been there. They've been to the championship game. Like, they're expecting something, and it just seems like he's not delivering. And I don't know if the lofty expectations are too much. I mean, I think I kind of asked you guys that yesterday, but he's beloved in Memphis. He obviously was a Memphis Tiger, had a long NBA career, but man, this doesn't look good on his record.
You can't just have no regard for anything.
Well,
I mean,
you've heard this said, privately.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good. It's like the Stackhouse thing. That's what it reminds me of. Good basketball mind, but just not a whole lot of care about about being a CEO of a program. I mean, this is just sad. I mean, Penny Hardaway, he was brought on to save the program. I mean, they were in pretty bad shape, and now he's just basically destroyed it in a way.
The area where he has accomplished a lot is in the ticket sales business. Back when I was there, Memphis State football really could not pay the bills. And basketball, and when I was there, now this will show you how long ago it is, I was there the final year of the Mid-South Coliseum, which was basically the municipal auditorium plus about 3,000 seats, seated 11-2. And at the time, they had a waiting list going. And slowly, over the years, that had eroded to where they were drawing 5,000 and 6,000 people to games at the FedEx Forum that they share with the Grizzlies. So the last time there was a coaching change, it was just a demand of the fan base that it be Penny Hardaway. And it seemed on the surface to be the right move. Now, one of the disappointments has been that the Memphis fan base expected instant change. And if you had said to Memphis fan base people, you will make it to the NCAA twice in 6 years, they'd have said that no, that's not what we're bringing him in for. We're bringing him in to go back to the glory days. And to be honest, Kelly, back when I was there, the thing that amazed me was they had the luxury. They could have had $50 in their recruiting budget. It was all out of Memphis.
Yeah.
You know, my years were Cheyenne Gibson, Elliot Perry, Dwight Boyd, Russell Young, Dwayne Bailey, virtually all within an hour's drive of Memphis. And so they had the benefit of being able to get, West Memphis, Arkansas. Arkansas was the big worry back then with Nolan Richardson. But there are coaches on the Division I level who believe, none of them will say it publicly, who believe he has a blatant disregard for the rules. Now, a new AD coming in might want to say, I'm not putting up with this. But I know enough about the politics down there. That athletic director won't be there very long.
George, why do you think he fired those 4 assistants like he did? I mean, is that trying to get heat off him? What's the
feels like a scapegoat connection?
It does.
Thing.
I mean, absolutely, it does.
The timing. One day he fires 4 assistants. The next morning, this comes out. This letter is released by somebody, probably a rat.
My guess is that by the end of the weekend, we're likely to know the full contents of the letter.
This is just the beginning, it feels like.
Yeah. And the problem is, this is a deal where you cry wolf one time too many. Memphis is always under investigation by the NCAA. There's always a cloud around this program. And at some point, I don't know what the answer is, because I know the backlash that would happen if this new AD said, I'm getting rid of him. We're going to clean this thing up. The people in Memphis would be irate. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, tough situation for sure.
Feels like they're their own worst enemy. It's like a Dallas Cowboys Jerry Jones thing. They just can't get out of their own way.
Some of you might be listening to this going, wait a minute. I didn't know there were any rules anymore. And in a lot of cases, there aren't. But apparently, this is one where the NCAA is getting ready to go to a place they are very familiar with.
Oh, we're back in Memphis.
You can't go. Yeah, you can't give money to a coach though, just to make sure one of his players is committing to Memphis. I mean, everybody knows that's not ethical.
Well, we're going to find out more in the coming days, but the bottom line, this keeps happening. It looks terrible. There's always a cloud when it comes to what I call Memphis State basketball. You all know it as University of Memphis. When I was there, it was Memphis State. I hate that this is happening, but at some point, something's got to change. Speaking of change, Kelly, have you noticed I've been winning?
Unfortunately, I have noticed.
Let's go Mets. After the break, we will not be going Mets today for one reason. They're not playing. But we will have activity on tonight's NFL opener. You'll want to hear it next on 95.9. Here's Stan Harrison for Apple Collision Centers.
Hello, George. We at Apple Collision Centers understand the stress that auto body repair process can put in your day-to-day lives. We at Apple Collision Centers, we have 3 convenient locations, Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. You can stop by and get an estimate, or you can get one online at www.applecollisioncenters.com.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donley Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank and Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank and Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank and Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Tennessee at highschoolofficials.com.
NFL season kicks off tonight. Ravens and Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium, 7:20 on NBC. We'll see where George is going. But first, Bart Durham injury log. Give him a call, 615-242-9000, or log on, BartDurham.com.
Are we having a problem
that
there?
Was a
mini
stroke mistake there. Yeah. All right, let's check out what happened last night. The Mets keep rolling.
Yeah.
Way to go, George.
Yeah.
Meet
it's
the
not
Mets.
Quite what I want.
Yeah,
but,
you're hurting your team.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to tonight. I'm a little bit like Kelly tonight, although I think Baltimore's a really good football team. But until somebody goes in and beats the Chiefs in Arrowhead, I'm taking them. Taking the Chiefs -3, and I'm going over. I think this is going to be a shootout to some level, something like 28-25, 30-27. I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense. The other play, the last one, this is the team that I truly believe is going to make it out of the National League, the San Diego Padres. More and more, I'm becoming convinced they're it. Take them tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Those are the three plays. Kelly, you have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
See you, fellas. Y'all be good.
All of you, join us tomorrow for Football Friday.